Welcome dear students. This is the part 2 of the video for the Happy Prince, and as we have seen, the Happy Prince has ordered the bird to take one of the sapphires from his eyes. Dear Prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that, and he began to weep. The swallow began to cry now because he said, if I am going to take your eyes, what will happen? Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eyes and flew away to the young man's garret. So he went there. It was easy enough to get in as there was a hole in the roof. So as you can see in this picture that is coming for you. So this is the garret and this is the young playwright. He was doing his work. He didn't have any fire and he was all wet and he didn't have any good things about his living. So he went there. It was easy enough to get in as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted in. Darted, that means he entered and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, as I've showed in the picture. So he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings, and when he looked up he found the beautiful sapphire lying in the withered violets. So there was this beautiful sapphire that was in the withered violets. I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play. And he looked quite happy. So this is happening. The next day the swallow flew down on the harbour. He sat on the mast of a large vessel, large ship, and watched the sailors working. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded. And when the moon rose, he flew back to the Happy Prince. So the bird was talking to itself. He was deciding to go back. I have come to bid you goodbye, he cried. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you not stay with me one night longer? So again the statue requests the bird to stay for longer. It is winter, answered the swallow, and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. So he said, I wanted to go there and enjoy. In the square below, said the happy prince, there stands a little matchstick girl. She has let the matches fall in the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home money. She is crying. She has no shoes. So you can see that this is the girl and her matchsticks have fallen into the gutter. So she has got no shoes or stockings and her little head is bare. So she is there in the cold weather. Pluck out the other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then. You will become blind. How will you see things? Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of the girl. So if you can see this picture, he becomes blind by now. Okay, so he doesn't have any beauty, anything left. Okay, so he plucked the prince's other eye and darted down and he gave it to the girl. What a lovely bit of glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. The girl was very happy she got a sapphire. Then the swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. So it was decided that now the bird will accompany the statue every now and then. No, little swallow, said the poor prince, you must go away to Egypt. No, I will stay with you always, said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him the stories of what he had seen in the strange lands. So as you can see, these two have got good friendship by now, and he is telling him stories what he has seen as experience. Dear little swallow, said the prince, you tell me marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of the men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there. He said, I'm not interested in about the things you're telling me. Just tell me about the people of my kingdom. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in the beautiful houses while the beggars were sitting at the gates. So he saw the difference between the people. He flew into the dark lanes and saw the white faces of the starving children. They were not getting anything to eat, looking out listlessly at the black streets. The children were looking helplessly as if something will come, some ray of light, some hope, somebody would give them food. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lying in each other's arm to try to keep themselves warm. They don't have any clothes, food, shelter. How hungry we are, they said. You must not lie here, shouted the watchman, and they wandered out in the rain. So the watchman came and he threw them out and they were in the rain. These two boys were suffering. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it out leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy. So he says you should go and give this gold to them because they feel that the gold will make them happy. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked up till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played in the streets. We have bread now, they cried. So now the people were very happy because they were getting resources. They were not bothered from where the resources were coming, but they were getting. Then the snow came, and the snow became the frost. So it was very cold. The street looks as if they were made up of silver. Everywhere it was all white. Everybody went about in furs, and the little boys wore scarlet red colored caps and skated on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's doors when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. So he tried to eat whatever frugal or whatever little he was getting, and then he was trying to keep himself warm. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulders once more. "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "Will you let me kiss your hand?" He said, "Will you let me kiss your hand?" is a gesture of showing love and respect. "I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow," said the prince. "You have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on my lips, for I love you." He said, "I love you. You don't kiss my hand, you kiss me on the lips." "It is not good, it is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. "I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep, is he not?" So these are all philosophical things, and Oscar Wilde, as I mentioned in the class, was a philosophical writer. And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. He died. The bird that did so much of charity, at the last he died. Okay, so as you can see, he is coming to kiss the prince, and the prince is all blind, and the gold has been taken off leaf after leaf. Okay, so the statue has become dull. At the moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue as if something had broken. So this non-living thing also had a heart. The fact that the leaden heart had snapped right into, heart has also broken, snapped, broken. It certainly was a dreadful hard frost. It was so cold. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in the company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked at the statue. "Dear me, how shabby!" The shabby means dirty. "The happy prince look," he said. "How shabby indeed," cried the town councillors, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. So they were always agreeing to the mayor, "Yes sir, yes sir." They said, "Yes, it's ugly. The ruby has fallen out of the sword, his eyes are gone, and he is golden no more," said the mayor. "In fact, he is little better than a beggar." So he's looking like a beggar. You can remove the statue. "Little better than a beggar," said the town councillors, habit of repeating like a parrot. "And here is actually a dead bird at its feet," continued the mayor. "We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not to be allowed to die here." As you can see, these are the councillor, the people who have come, and the bird is dead and the statue is here. And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion that birds will not die at the statue. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince, as he is no longer beautiful and he is no longer useful, said the art professor at the university. The art professor at the university said, "Okay, pull it down." Then they melted the statue in a furnace to get the metal. "What a strange thing," said the overseer of the workmen at the foundry. Foundry is the place where this was happening. The furnace is there. "This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. This heart cannot be melted. We must throw it away." So they threw it on the dust heap where the dead swallow was lying. Okay, so see the irony and see the last fate, that both of the things were lying together, the heart of the happy prince as well as the bird. Now, this story ends here, and this is a part that is happening in heaven. "Bring me the two most precious things of the city," said God to one of his angels, and the angel brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. So this is one of the pictures from the net. As you can see, the angel is carrying the heart as well as the bird. Okay, so this is one of the things. "You have rightly chosen," said God, "for in my garden of paradise this little bird shall sing, and forevermore in my city of gold the happy prince shall praise me." So now they are both given a status in the God's kingdom. I hope you like this brief explanation. If there's any doubt, please let me know over WhatsApp. Thank you, children.